RNG on match point here against LNG in the quarterfinals. And LNG, 4 times in their LPL career have they dropped in the quarterfinals. And it's looking like time number 5 here is Raz, Hysterics. A good series so far, despite it being a 2-0.
Yes, a very good quality series. We saw what is RNG adapt to playoff mode. I feel like they here's the reason why I didn't think they would make playoff mode.
Right.
First, I felt like the top lane issue was too strong, but also I thought that Xiahu peaked.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that he would get worse. I'm saying that usually what playoff mode means for RNG is that Xiahu just goes off on his multiple picks, but he had it all during the regular season, and they still had some difficulties against top-tier talent. But no, feels like once again Langx is back in order.
Yeah, which is great.
They look like an all LPL team. This is the super team that we were all kind of hoping to see.
And now we get to talk about the bottom lane again. As usual with RNG, MVP of Game 2, although not super happy about it, is Uzi. Again, I'm sure it's a high damage percentage once more. It's 36.
It's unfair.
But Ming won them the game.
Ming, the entire game. In Game 2 and 1,
And
of course.
Game 1, yeah.
All right, at the end of the day, remember, the relationship is very much, you may have it, but also it's shared.
I mean, you look at that stare. He looked at Ming, and he said, who gets MVP?
Give
And
me
Ming
the
looked
MVP.
back at him, and he said, it's you, Uzi.
Now, I just love this one because it was a creative start here from LNG, but they end up still getting killed because of the flash into the turret shot.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But then the rocket jump into the rocket jump.
That was great. This is a great gank from Duan.
I just loved it because that was, to be able to get the lead right back, and then Xiahu just got pained constantly. Constantly dove by Duan and SofM, so it feels bad at this stage, but this was a fun one. This was when Duan was making that rotation back topside. It looked like they had the numbers advantage. The only issue was with Fen went straight in towards Xiahu, a lot of time to try and get the kill. The moment he got the time to go for a jump, didn't have the mana to do it, and also just got CC locked down, and this is the game ender.
Yeah, this was a surprise where Asura gets pretty much solo killed by Uzi, and then you want to watch Ming. Are we going to see Flande, or we don't get to see Flande?
No, that's cool. We just needed to see that.
That's true, because that was the moment.
That's what kicked it all off. Uzi being able to find that pick, and then Ming, he was able to get that major save.
Well,
he was cool. But F's in the chat for Ming. This is one of those moments when you're partnered right next to Uzi. You may have the kings of you may just destroy the lane. But guess who's gonna get that?
Not the support.
Nah, it's not gonna be the
never
support.
the support.
People give credit to Uzi.
It's unfortunate, but still, Uzi and Ming working in tandem. This is a great bottom lane for RNG. A great look for RNG.
Yeah.
If people were doubting RNG coming into playoffs, I know before the break you're talking about that playoff switch that a lot of teams have, where IG definitely, the kink in the armor, you called it, that was not resolved.
Chip in the armor, yes.
Same thing, right?
All of them is really the same. But they couldn't really deal with that. While RNG comes into play, and it seemed like the discipline was immediately there. They didn't have jungle issues. Karsa is the jungler that you rely on.
Yep.
And then you look towards the top side of the map, and Langx has always had it. It was more so kind of realizing that, having that conversation with your own jungler, realizing that you're not going to have the pressure, and then just taking a second to either clear wave and take a step back. It's not a difficult thing to do, and I felt like he was able to accomplish that in both these games in the series.
Now, while they're, look at LNG, Game 1 and Game 2, it was only small gold leads for RNG and small moments that broke open the game to an RNG win.
Yeah.
I look at one player in particular for LNG as my question moving into Game 3, and it's Fun, who I think started off well again in Game 2, but it was some decisive moments that let him down.
And it feels bad, doesn't it? Because in the first series going up against IG, he was a baller in that one. There were some questionable moments, but that's just him having that confidence that he will always win. Exactly. And then goes into this series, and you're right, a lot of the pressure is still going towards him, and he's playing well initially, but then it's more of the outset of the entire fight. The one that we played of them going in for an invade on red buff, he can easily win that out front to back. At least have some faith that you don't have to just jump straight in towards the Karma.
Absolutely. You
saw what happened last game. Last game was pretty hard to find the pick on Karma.
Against the Karma again, yeah.
This time he knows there are multiple people in the area, so those are the moments that we kind of look towards, and those are the moments that RNG is coming out in just slivers of HP margin. So great win for RNG being able to pick it off back on the back of those team fights.
Yeah, there was the game plan for LNG around the mid lane, around Xiahu. Xiahu recovered once again, and once he fell into a bit of a deficit, once RNG had a game plan moving into the mid game, it was to the support duty. It was the Ardent. I didn't see the third item, but I assume the Athenes by the end of that game.
Yeah, and I really wonder if there's going to be a change going into the next game.
Good question.
Because through pick and ban, RNG is not going to change. Having the Aatrox and all that is a pretty easy pick to go back towards. But I've heard that we're going to be hearing from Ming here, so let's see what he has to say.
博武的话，就可能有些是吃经验，还有一些吃套路嘛，然后还有一些就是选手的体力了，然后就看谁那个打得更好吧。然后我觉得博武的话，还是经验方面应该会赚很多大优势吧。
There we go. Couldn't say it better myself.
It is a bit of a slug, the best of fives, and remember, our regular season, best of threes, so it's that extra mile that LNG have to go now.
Yeah, and it's just that layer of adaptation, because currently you're seeing that the draft isn't changing, but certainly now it's on LNG to change the draft.
Yes.
To make that shift. I forget which series it was. It was EDG versus Suning, in which the draft remained the same throughout the series.
Yes, it was.
And it was mostly, I remember, who was on the stage in the interview? My memory is always shady, so I apologize for it. It was Jinu who was on stage and made a point about how, both coaches were pretty stubborn about it, and said that if there was anything going wrong, did he hurt his head?
Flande whacked the headphones.
But yeah, if anything wrong happened in the game, they blamed execution and said that the draft was fine. So maybe both teams are going to be competent with the draft because they have their own main strengths.
Yeah.
And it's been the execution for both of these teams that have been putting them down. But at some point, if you're LNG in this case, you look towards the ease of the comp and say, it's actually very hard to deal with the Morgana. And it's incredibly hard to find a pick on towards the Karma in the mid lane. If I was in this position, I would second phase ban the Morgana rather than banning the AD carries, because you can always find an AD to be put in that exact same position. And if I was in first phase, I would certainly ban the Morgana in first phase.
Do you look at changing
Karma in first phase?
Okay. Do you look at changing the picks around for LNG specifically towards the Tristana that Fen has prioritized twice now?
I'm completely fine with it. I think the bans, it just comes down to treating second phase as it is, which is you're trying to adapt to the situation. I want to see what RNG is willing to go to when they don't have the Karma and Morgana by second phase. So if they see the perfect time to pick Tristana, go towards it. But what I'm concerned about is Duan's not able to find picks later on in the game. But guess who that is?
Hello.
Senor MLXG.
Watching on as RNG are one step away.
It's fun to be able to see, RNG members making the trip over from Beijing to watch their team play. Now, of course, it was MLXG that had his jersey retired in the Beijing arena.
Next to Zatai and Let Me as well.
Exactly, 3 players. And that's why I love that kind of vibe that you have in the city systems. That RNG can have their mainstay players that have found so much success by them that can have their retired jerseys there.
Yeah.
That's really nice to be able to walk into your team venue and see that on the wall. There's legacy behind that.
I just love that you often see Let Me alongside MLXG at these events where you see them supporting RNG.
Speaking of that, where the hell's Let Me? I just saw a shot of MLXG in the crowd. Where are the other boys
You can only have one at a time, Raz. One at a time.
I know Zatai must be restreaming the game out there on W. He always does. He always does.
Does he?
Yep.
Okay. Well, game 3, here we go. Raz, similar bans, I would not say, because everything's actually just been thrown out. With RNG, a crucial Gragas ban on blue side.
Olaf been banned by LNG, and it was the Gragas that got banned by RNG. So yes, finally the J4 is unleashed. Want to see what LNG is willing to pick up. When you're in a losing situation, which is, match point, perhaps we see the Lee Sin coming in from SofM.
That's true.
That's my question.
Most played champion here in the summer split. SofM, 8 games, which is a lot, but also means Flande gets his Akali.
It's time for Flande to be unleashed. Now, technically, he was unleashed from the very beginning. He had the Riven game. He's had the Camille game. But he is definitely known for his Akali. So I want to be able to see what he can do in team fights with that. You're definitely locking in the Karsa along with it.
That's 2 very strong picks here off the get-go for LNG.
All comfort, too. It's nothing that they haven't seen before. Where if you're Flande, you're definitely not playing Riven or Camille in any of these games in the regular season. But certainly, you've had a wealth of experience with the Akali pick. So let's see what RNG ends up doing to deal with that top side. I think the Aatrox being banned by LNG is the major change that they had going into this last game here, potentially.
Do we just get a Xayah Rakan bottom lane is my question. Uzi plays a lot of Xayah through the regular split, but Ming doesn't always confine himself to the Rakan pick.
Makes a lot of sense. Think of it this way. If LNG goes towards Morgana on their end, you still have a mid-range Karsa. Certainly going 2v2 up against that is pretty daunting. And so we're going to be seeing a Karma hover anyways, but I still like the idea of a Rakan going into the second phase.
I regard Xiahu as the best Rumble mid in the LPL right
That's
now.
true. I agree
alongside
with that.
Scout, and I'd put Korra there as well.
I agree with that.
Fen-Fen's
He's making a
laughing
laugh
at this.
about this because when he first came into the league, he was a Kassadin player. He played Kassadin well, he played Jace well, and really he was known about having those two champions as effective picks. Let's see if he ends up locking it in, but no, he's just going to have some fun with it.
Oh, Rek'Sai here for SofM. When you're running into the Jarvan, I like the choice here from LNG's jungler.
Makes it a lot more easier to deal with. Good matchup in towards the J4.
5-0 with it as well, Raz.
Yeah, incredibly successful with it. He's just been a great early game jungler in general, so him being able to impact the map early is a nice touch here.
We need those solo laners for the side of RNG, or at least one more. We're going to get the Karma ban from RNG, which is a surprise, but for LNG, the GP ban over towards RNG.
Yeah, I love the Karma ban here just because it's a great way to empower the Rek'Sai. We've already seen Karma Skarner lanes, and that one's pretty damn hard to get away from. Karma Rek'Sai just makes it hard for a Rumble to survive. One of the greatest benefits of a Rumble mid is the fact that he's in a shorter lane than a top lane.
Yeah.
So he can actually have that ability to get out of the lane pretty easily. This one's going to make it a little easier knowing that the Karma is no longer in pick range.
I'm curious if we start questioning picks like Qiyana then, which Fen-Fen's played before, which has often been picked into the mid lane in some of these more volatile matchups because Azir's taken off for the safety of range. Now the question is there.
Let's see what LNG ends up going here. Technically, they can still pick up, I'm looking through the bans, a Tristana. It's still a possibility. I love this hover. Now, remember, Qiyana actually has a lot of rough lane matchups. So going up against the Rumble, although it's not going to be picked here, is still not that big of an issue because you're going to be still being, farming underneath your turret. This time around, you're looking towards a Corki pick and saying he's still going to be able to accomplish that, but with the added advantage of the scaling factor. Scaling incredibly heavily, going to be finding himself on a side lane. Side lane from LNG's perspective is pretty good.
Yeah.
Akali and Corki, nice touches. I want to see what the last pick here is for LNG.
Oh, wow. Slap down that Mordekaiser. Very rare to see here in the LPL. We're still in 9-15, but Mordekaiser does not get seen often.
And we knew the Rakan was coming, but Mordekaiser, Rumble. That's a team fight comp if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
And you have a Rumble Jarvan composition. You've already seen this a few times in the Clutch Gaming perspective out there in North America. So LNG already knows what they're dealing with. The added factor of, I guess, confusion or how to deal with it in a team fight is going to be the Mordekaiser. So let's see how LNG handles it, especially since it's a little bit more of a difficult lane there for the Akali.
I just look at this though, Raz, and I say for LNG, this is so cut and dry. RNG, they're skirmishing great. LNG, if they get to that late game with those 3 carries, should be easy to take that fight.
And remember, for LNG to qualify into the playoffs, these were the picks they were able to accomplish that feat with.
Yes.
Fen-Fen's Corki, Flandre's Akali, able to dive straight into the backline and just eviscerate Maple and Angel. So if we're just talking about what LNG knows is successful, this is the comp. But RNG's team fighting, if you're looking to match that, both these teams' very esteemed team fighting squads, there is just far more order front to back, just textbook work coming in from RNG's side, as you can see a respect from the coaches.
It's getting towards that point for RNG, one step away. I don't think my expectations coming into this series were expecting such a strong showing from RNG to make it look one-sided. The last stand here for LNG to bring it back in the reverse sweep.
Yeah, I feel like I've been wrong nearly every time in the playoffs. Because during the regular season, I was king.
You were apparently king, yep.
And then I said Suning would win that series. I was wrong. I said IG would win that series. I was wrong. And I said BLG would win that series, and I was finally right about something.
Only just.
But I thought I had some confidence. I come into the series, I bank on LNG.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm about to be wrong.
I like that our playoff predictions aren't as public, though, Raz. So No one's going to blame you if you're wrong on this one, because RNG, match point here to go into the semifinals versus Top Esports. And that means they have a chance to make Worlds, to qualify and knock out LNG, who are on their last legs. I love how coming into Game 3, we did the weird camera angle. It was cool, but I did not expect it. There's MLXG, you can see in the crowd, watching with care as RNG take us into a Game 3.
I'm always a fan of the helicopter shot, especially when it's off the back of someone getting murked. When someone is just about to get taken down by, let's say, a rumble or something, and you instantly get to that helicopter pan, it really feels like you're watching the 8 o'clock news.
Well said. Well, the rumble going into this game, it's going to be a Comet into the mid lane. Corky, who has taken Klepto, of course. So we'll see this matchup fold out. Xiahu on his rumble, Fen on his Corky. So comfortable matchup here. Comfortable champions, rather, I should say.
A lot of poke being levied down towards Xiahu, too. So Xiahu's going to be taking quite a bit of damage when he doesn't have much sustain to his name. Thankfully, the Duan shield is there, but he's going up against Fen with 2 corrupting potion stacks still there. So great start by Fen, and he has Klepto too, so he should be able to get out of the lane fairly easy. The only concern is just the pushing power. Rumble has the pushing power. He's going to be able to rotate to Karsa at all times. It's more so how LNG is going to be able to react to that.
Means we have to take care of the jungle pathing here. Red start and blue start alike. So top side for both RNG and LNG, with Karsa going straight from buff to buff.
Makes sense. Always concerned about being opened up on by SofM on the rec side. And he's going to be able to get down bot side pretty easily. In fact, if he wanted to, I'm not saying to do this because you're missing out on a lot of experience if you try for it, is just go for a bush game. You're in bot side of the map. Uzi and Ming are heavily shoving out.
Yeah,
it's going to be bouncing back as well, and your laner should be telling you that there's no wards in the bush. It's a possibility. Let's see what J4 ends up doing.
SofM through the mid lane, though. There's going to be the Unburrow. The flash burn immediately from Xiahu. That's a respect from SofM, but don't go too far forward. He will turn around.
It's a good call. Nice to see that from SofM, and he still has his flash, so he can try that again. It's going to be on J4 to make it easier for Rumble now, but it seems like they're going to be passing in the night. SofM does know he's here, though.
He's walking back mid with the Tremor Sense. He can come back here. Xiahu might feel safe knowing that Karsa's nearby.
Oh, here we go. Oh, no.
Tremor Sense is there. SofM backing away. Karsa's found, and remember, it's Electrocute Java, and he looks at the drag flag. He gets the burn down as well. Xiahu adds into the mix, and the flash now burn for the rec side.
Yeah, he moved incredibly quickly. You thought that J4 was just going to be on his blue buff, and he would find the opportunity to just go for the gank. He ends up moving. Awkwardly, Karsa runs into him. So there we go. He loses out on just about everything. Not able to get the gank, has to burn this flash, and loses his blue buff as well.
SofM triple buff in game number 2. Karsa going to return the favor here in game 3.
It's nice to be able to see just changes based off the jungle matchup. That's the expectation we had coming in, that it was going to be a battle between Karsa and SofM.
Yep.
And thankfully, that's this case here. Thankfully, SofM is able to just at least get some experience in the dime, knowing that the Wolf Camp was going to be available there. So he's not going to be losing too much out in experience.
Gromp there to pair with him as well.
That's
so
true.
Leaves the small wolf.
Aha!
And nuisance. Langx dropping a ward just in case the dive comes to the top lane, but
it's the perfect ward that doesn't catch him.
Yeah.
Just there, so you have no vision. I love it.
I love how the vision ping goes down on the top side as well. Karsa going to try and match him here. Oh, does this spot him out? No.
Yeah,
just
stick around.
He doesn't know. Tremor
okay.
Sense going to find Karsa, and he's now coming for a lane gank in the top side. So Tremor Sense will spot that the jungler's nearby. I love this.
And now you have 2 paths. Karsa has an unsuccessful gank up top side, and he's just confused as to what happened. Or the other one is he somehow still gets the gank off, Flande dies or uses flash, and LNG is even more pissed off that that worked.
But
Let's find out.
He's so safe in the lane. He's only going to be able to get this first brush now. Pushes up in the lane. Flandre's back at his turret, so not much seems like it's going to come out of this.
Thankfully, I mean, he's just looking for a counter gank. He doesn't have any vision of where SofM is, but now he's dug in deep. Let's see if this one works. Akali should never believe that J4 has been here for the past minute. So let's see if he gets caught up in the charade.
He's been here for so darn long, Langxing into the brush.
No, you know what? I would be suspicious for him. There's no reason for Langxing to be taking the majority of his HP for free like that.
That's true.
I'm not going in for that.
Okay. So it's ruined. Karsa's left. He's gone back. He's now towards the bottom side. It's over.
All right. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, that's right. A minute of time that unfortunately Karsa's not going to get back. Meanwhile, SofM was clearing topside, moves towards the bottom walls, and just has that extra bit of experience advantage.
Kind of reminds me of a scene of Life. I don't know if you've seen that movie. Eddie Murphy involved.
No, I love Eddie Murphy though.
Never young.
No,
you should watch it. It is a classic. There was one time where he was in the bar, holding on to the waitress who was trying to steal like money from him or something. She's like, "You're hurting my arm." Oh, God dang it.
No.
You know what?
Is Asura anything like that, Raz? That's first blood over to RNG.
Ruining my story. I was
let
getting comfortable too, but you're seeing RNG getting pretty comfortable themselves.
Yeah, 4 members down here. SofM might have to leave as the push comes through. Now, Uzi and Ming have already picked up one bit of turret plating here, just by Karsa and Xiahu being nearby. This could be rough as SofM turns on in. That equalizer is perfect. Ming follows up with the heroic entrance. Karsa flashes forward. SofM dies well, and that TP can't be cancelled. Flande goes in with the perfect execution, but Uzi gets the route down. Even in the smoke screen, he looks for Karsa. He finds him, and that's his escape.
Let's see if they can get more. Fun is rotating in.
He doesn't want to escape. He flashes on in for the 5-point strike. Xiahu gets the flame spitter down.
Oh,
the shuriken flip lands. Flande's back in. He gets him down. Uzi dies as well. How did LNG turn this around?
Just like that. They thought that Akali would be right for the pickings. Ends up getting the straggler. And Fen comes just in time to even up the play. That's pretty crazy because RNG had a really good response to J4 quote-unquote getting picked, that you're able to get the ultimate off. And just like, what the hell are you guys doing? You're suddenly going in for a play yourself.
Duan's roaming again already. He got the mobility boots. He feels empowered. Okay.
Well, I guess we'll look at this first, and then we'll be surprised when one of those two gets picked off. But yeah, I mean, this was great, as you mentioned. SofM gets picked on the top side, Duan on the bot side, and it was the teleport that really came into play. The moment Corki ends up rotating too, because she had faith that Flande would be able to survive. Sticks around after, you know, look at this. Ming says, okay, I'll let you go. And then Uzi's like, all right, just in case, I'll give you a heads up, Xiahu. Little did they know that Fen would just come right through on the back and murk them on that one. So it seems like SofM and Duan didn't get anything up top side. I'm always concerned about that, what we missed, but I don't see anything.
I think it was just a scuttle crab and pushing in towards the Wolves. I think the Wolves were taken in the end.
Look, my investigative mind is not too large.
And you can't use your computer for that because they're in the replay as well.
That's true.
They're actually behind. They don't know this right now, but we're talking to them. So a lot's changed because now we go back to stable lanes where for LNG, they actually have the gold lead for the first time in this game. They were losing out heavy on the bottom side. Mid, was a little bit even, and on top side now a lead here for Flande, who picked up the kill off the engage as well. Remember, Langxing did not join that fight.
All right, we have a package here for Corki. It's just a Cloud Dragon too, so you can't really use it for that one. I don't think it would be too beneficial. But at least you would threaten towards bot side. So I want to see if SofM can try and use something off of this. Just kidding.
As you say that.
It was probably just about to lose cooldown too. We only saw the back half of it.
I like you giving benefit of the doubt here tonight, Raz. Being very kind. 15 CS lead here for Fen in the mid lane. Picked up Sheen off of getting that kill. So much better early start here for LNG, but we've got another bloody game once again. RNG in game 1, game 2, they match the aggression of LNG, and same to be said here in game 3.
It's more the surprise factor. That could have been a very easy RNG early game if it wasn't just for how good Flande was there. We'll find another pick here.
Remember, Halo Blade's Rek'Sai, so you're going to get the burst down. Karsa now goes in for the electrocute. The ult comes through from Asura early. Duan once again gets the 2-man knockup as Ming goes in for the ultimate, gets the knockup himself onto Duan. Langxing is teleported in. Fen's here as well. Now, Flande has roamed down, but Xiahu doesn't know that just yet. As here he comes with perfect execution. Xiahu flashes away, but Flande doesn't want to commit. Until now, He finds himself on the back half. Sure, can flip, lands. Will he re-engage? Flande flies through. That's a 5 versus 5 at the bottom lane begins. There's Equalizer down to burn. Flande in the death realm with Langx. This Akali almost dies, but Langx disengages with the Cataclysm down from Karsa. It's another bestie fight, but RNG have the damage. SofM is trying to slide his way out, and he will. A 2 for 1 by RNG.
Yeah, the coast is clear at SofM. It's okay to come out. I love that ultimate from Langx to just eliminate him from the fight. Another thing too, J4 setting up, Cataclysm, allowing the rest of the team to just walk up and net the kills for themselves. 2, 1, and 3 right now from Uzi. I guess LNG will still be able to cut the Cloud Dragon, but all in all, I love this one from RNG.
Let's have a look again, because this went for a while.
Teleports were pretty crucial here, because it was a good start from LNG, but then in comes the rest of the crew. FunFun had to be routed to the left. They were pretty dispersed. It was Flande, as you mentioned, that was the difference, being able to get the pick on towards Xiahu. I think the ultimate didn't actually nail Karsa, that was the goal, but he was just short from being able to get that damage across. Here's the great part of the fight. Ultimate from Xiahu puts them to the right. The ultimate from Langx just nails Flande, so he wasn't going to be able to help out and join. And it was an easy pickup from RNG from that point forward.
Perfect stopwatch there from Karsa. Dies in the end though, so 2 for 1 trade as stated. Means that for RNG, getting a small benefit onto Uzi, who's 2, 1, and 3.
And man, these replays always last so long that we just don't see the setup.
I know.
They're instantly on Rift
Must be a
Herald.
nightmare for you. I mean, for me as a play-by-play, I'm like, yeah, we're cool. We're
This
fine.
is even worse.
Yeah, 1 versus 2. Langx going to have to flash. That's an easy kill. What more to be said? As Rift Herald was picked up by RNG this time, they're going to make the counter trade.
I couldn't talk about my movie reference.
You
Couldn't
still
see
on
what's
there?
happening on the map.
I'm still so curious.
We're just
about
going towards. You'll watch the movie. It's great.
Yeah, thank
it's
you.
fine.
All right, turret trade here. Of course, RNG are going to have the setup with the Rift Herald and the faster push with turret plating still available. This is going to go down pretty quick as I want to have a quick look at the bottom side. I think RNG need to hurry this up a little bit.
They'll have the Alistar and Kaisa to be able to match the top lane wave. In fact, they have Corki here just in case, so it shouldn't be able to get pushed completely into the second turret.
Yep.
Okay, just lying.
They're
RNG
committing.
wants to commit.
Look at that.
All right.
That is a nightmare.
The jig is up. You're allowing this Rift Trail to go all the way in.
I think they're going to be happy, though, because Xiahu does not have the ultimate. So that's half the threat from RNG down. As LNG push the bottom lane, Inner's not going to go down the top side.
But I just love that a little bit more from RNG. They're allowing it to fully push in, so now LNG has to push in an extra wave. And then they have the fear of cutting through the red side jungle towards mid, so FunFun has to be able to just defend this alongside the Alistar. So you get a free base here if you're RNG. A lot of it worked out there, but to the point that we were making earlier, a lot of turret plating gold now is on towards the Akali.
The Akali who, okay, hang on.
I wasn't even looking for somebody, but I guess I found you.
There he is. I was just looking at items across the board. RNG, the only items they have that are complete is the Cinder Hulk on Karsa and the Essence Reaver on Uzi. Xiahu, Langx still without their first. Where you look at Flande and FunFun, it's the Trinity Force, the Hextech Gunblade. That's already in their back pockets because they're the most fed members.
Yeah, if we're having a conversation about who scales, I think it's a very complex one. Because I think both teams have pretty damn good late game comps. Corki Kaisa is a great response front to back. And then you have the Akali if she ends up coming through in a great flank. Other side, Uzi and Ming, great in the late game with the Xayah Rakan. And really, the question mark to me is how Rumble plays a role in this. Not only can J4 stand a test of time with how tanky he can get, but also if Xiahu can get a great ultimate, then I would say RNG wins out the team fight.
Okay.
But if he doesn't nail that ultimate, and you see how much damage is there from our LNG, they can easily pick off Uzi and Xiahu in the beginning of the fight. So positioning and execution is really the name of the game.
That's always a perfect conversation when you think that, okay, it comes down to execution. That means it's skill-based. That means we get to a late game where it's that one exciting team fight where we've had execution be the name of the game in this series so far.
And maybe we don't get a team fight. You know?
Maybe not.
You know, God forbid, if you look towards LNG, they can just play towards Flande's advantage in his own matchup. If Xiahu or Langx match him in a side lane, Flande should win. So that's, to me, like what LNG should be doing. But you can already see Akali kind of rotating towards the team. I think we're just going to be seeing both squads who have been so successful through team fights throughout their seasons kind of just go right back to that.
Yeah, why not? Xiahu heading towards
Get away from me.
A little bit crispy. Oh, send out the Vel'Koz. Are we the only region still that can do emotes?
I want to say yes, but there's a lot of national leagues. So I'll just say yes for now.
Okay.
And I'll be the ignorant man.
That's up to someone to correct. I want to look closer at LNG for a second, though, while they have the gold lead, while LNG at this 15-minute mark are looking pretty confident. I was just noticing
in my
that
little league, we have all of them.
the 50 CS lead for FunFun at the moment. There's a 20 CS lead here for Flande. In their individual lanes, they have dominated, while Uzi again has a 50 CS lead himself. So there's big margins in each of these lanes. It's one thing that I look at and go, okay, that's why we see the early Trinity Force. That's why we see the Hextech Gunblade so quickly. Second items on their way. And we've got to a bit of a lull state here at 15 minutes.
It's going to take some time for LNG to be confident right now with the second item because Essence Reaver is going to be the go-to, which is a big payoff for the Corki later on in the game. But right now, he's going to be leaning on to the members in which you've mentioned, primarily the Akali, to be able to take control. Great call out here by RNG. Just a lot of pivoting here.
Oh, they want to find FunFun.
You better watch out there. That's a lot of poke that FunFun was able to throw right back at you.
The big one's scary right now. LNG posturing, and towards this dragon, they control the vision now. RNG waiting by this side brush, looking for that one pick.
Are we dueling?
Let's
duel.
Let's going to go in onto Langx. The Death Realm is available. Will he use it? Well, he pulls him in. You can see the realms up. What's going on with those orbs on the side? Flande takes a big burn, and Langx just wants to get out. He waits for time. Flande's out, but Ming can't find him in the end as LNG are looking for that big pivot. The ultimate comes down from the Rumble, but they've already found Ming in the backside. Duan zoning them away as RNG look to re-engage.
Wow. Ming was caught. This pants down on that one. It was, first of all, Flande realizing that he couldn't really duel. He wanted to get out of jail on that one. But a great call out here.
Wow.
FunFun will be able to get the kill.
Langx has to flash away. Now, under the turret, FunFun almost dies himself, but he'll take that.
This is a great game. Flande takes that fight, realizes he can't take that fight, and it was more so the response by RNG, where Ming is lunging for that kill. Gets caught up by the rest of the team. So it's unfortunate. You feel for him.
But it is, again, a net advantage here for LNG. They get the flash off of Langx at the back of that trade. And now, it's that 1.5K gold lead still.
And I want you people to know out there that I'm a person that's fairly easy to please.
Yeah?
I want two things. Give me a high-quality game. Give me an exciting game. If you're not giving me a high-quality game and it's not exciting, what the hell am I watching? You know what I mean? We all feel that deep down.
Yeah.
This is an exciting game.
This has been a high-quality series.
High-quality series.
Yes.
There are some moments, though.
There are some moments.
I think we saw a few of those moments.
I'm glad to say we're not actually seeing them from FunFun. We're seeing actually quite the opposite in this game 3. 3-0 Corki. I mean, this guy has shored up his play, and sure, it's a different champion, but looking much more tested, much more controlled as he approaches the top lane turret.
This is a smart way for LNG.
Oh, okay. SofM flash for flash. What do you think, Raz? What do you think? What's going through your mind? Now, when you said it's a high-quality series.
I didn't say it was high quality.
Good timing.
I just wanted them to split the map. 1-3-1. You don't always have to go for the kills.
He gets the turret.
He would have gotten it anyways. I'm cool with that, man. Just relax.
RNG are going to try and get the mid lane turret while the fiasco has ceased in the top side. For LNG, easy defense here. And what happens next?
This room's getting a little hot.
Yeah. Well, it's going to continue. We've got a minute till Baron, Raz. So set yourself up.
I hope this isn't the last game. You see Uzi just wiping his sweat. I wonder if it's because he's hot or is just SofM's always watching. Yeah, he's always watching.
Always watching. Is Karsa going to be fine here in the mid lane by himself? RNG bringing up some momentum with Ming trying to find a pick here onto Asura. That turret almost went down a minion, so back to square one it feels as FunFun has baggage and hello. This Corki wants to go in, but Karsa secures the Raptors.
Finally able to get his Essence Reaver. So I'm glad that they were very close to being able to get that mid lane turret. Just like from the perspective of LNG, you don't want this to be an A-ramp. Cosplaying Talia.
Yep. I just realized we have 2 equalizers in this game, technically, when Corki has his package up.
Yep. Just walk up and tickle it. Say what's up. Observer, just look at the mid lane tower.
It's dead.
I want to see someone go for it.
They're scared.
I know LNG too well. They're willing to risk some HP for this tower.
I mean, you just saw SofM flash over the wall. So if you're talking about risks,
Okay, they got it.
there you go.
It was all right. But yeah, I just really require Fun and, you know, Akali to be in their lanes.
Okay.
They have a lot of control here. Technically, they can go towards the next dragon rather than focusing fully on towards the Baron buff, but at this pace, Flande doesn't have to move. He has teleport too, so he's fine. Corki, just his entire focus is to be able to get his 3rd item. So really, if we're just talking about LNG's perspective, it's just farming and putting yourself in a side lane where you're getting so much experience for yourself. That's why there's actually such a large experience discrepancy between Xiahu and Fenfen. When you pick a composition like Mordekaiser and Rumble, you can't necessarily take sideways, or at least you're just going to get pummeled by SofM and Flandre or SofM and Fenfen. That's why Xiahu's predominantly picking up shared experience.
Yeah.
Why it's a level 11 to the level 13 of Fenfen.
Kind of comes back to that point where we stated at the start of the show, there's been times where Uzi will just be given other waves because either he can be the only one to manage it, deal with it, or he's just been given it to level himself up as Duan. Wow, that was close.
Well, he felt that somewhere.
He got out. That's all that matters. It was Uzi farming the mid lane wave, who, by the way, 237 CS at almost 22 minutes in the game. So he's on track once again. And while the rest of RNG solo laners are missing out, are losing in experience, Uzi's making up for it here in Game 3.
He's able to net the Hex Drinker as well, dealing with the Corki and Akali, double 80.
Someone
needs to get knocked up by now.
This is both AD carries as well.
Rakan and Alistar are fuming. Absolutely pissed off.
But they saw that the difference is this time they can do something about it because Mountain Dragon spawns, and that's denying the double mountain from LNG.
Yeah, there should be a fight from LNG, just let it happen. But they're not going to let it happen.
Duan over the wall with Blastco, and Dragon is secure. Duan goes into the back of the pit as Death Realm here going to be from Langx. Fen is taking him on though. Inside of it, Uzi picks up Duan first. That's a great death grasp onto Flandre. He gets knocked up on the way out as the ultimate drops down. Flandre re-engages into the back of the pit. Goes golden inside the Cataclysm. Xiahu has been deleted. RNG are cornered away, and Uzi gets no one with the Blade Caller. Karsa re-engages. Uzi still lives. He's auto-attacking, but the Rek'Sai ult, it hits Karsa. Uzi now has the range, but doesn't need to finish it off as Fen. They're on a whim. They're on such a whim. Ming goes in to die. Asura and Fen are left alone, and they win the fight.
That was such a beautiful flight from Flandre and Fen. And Asura was just eating popcorn watching on the side. If anyone was looking to escape. Woo! But no one on the side of RNG wanted to leave. They buckled down in the pit and fought. And so what you saw was Fun finally having that moment for himself, taking advantage in the fight.
By a whim, he survived by the slither of a health bar. Took out Ming and Uzi with him as well. So 5-0 on the Corki now after a LNG teamfight win.
I was concerned with how much work Flandre, SofM, and Fun put in that fight, that Asura wouldn't have the ability to contribute. Because he had put himself in such a position where, sure, he was stopping them from leaving, but he wasn't helping his team in winning the fight. So take a look at this right from the get-go. Yep, Langx makes the wrong duel. Don't take this fight. Corki's taking you on. And so while he's losing a considerable amount of HP, he also was able to reposition himself. Take a look at the fact that Flandre saves his own HP bar by using his E to get right in there and deny the ultimate from the Rumble, was able to also help out in the fight. So take a look at Asura. That's all I want you to look at. While there's an epic fight happening in the pit, Asura's like, let me in that fight. I have 80% HP. I can be a great contributor.
Look at this.
But it was Fun able to just wild out at the end there.
Uzi sends out the Q. Asura helps save his life.
You know, it's one of those... You watch Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
I mean, not anymore. I mean, 10
Look,
years
okay,
ago.
no one watches Yu-Gi-Oh right now. That's not the question.
It wasn't past tense.
All right, fair
Oh,
enough.
hang on, Raz, pause,
Alright.
because Ben walks blindly. He would have died if he didn't have the package. Karsa helps find a pick.
All right. I'm
Sorry,
gonna just power along
You
through
need
these
to.
fights. So basically, the people who have the power to put you in the Shadow Realm duels,
Yep.
they're not newbies. They're experienced enough to know that they should be taking winnable fights.
Yep. Sorry, you got about 3 seconds.
Langx
Two.
took a fight.
One.
He had no chance of winning. Now back to the fight.
I'll take it, because Karsa goes in immediately. Great equalizer down the flash away from SofM with Cataclysm already used. Duan goes for the re-engage, but LNG have abandoned him. RNG was set up around the Baron, and LNG walked willingly in as Karsa. You know he suspects something.
He's just looking for that Hail Mary steal.
Benfen's there. They're going to spot him out still with the vision. Karsa gets burnt down. Ming jumps on in to defend. Now LNG still want to take a fight with 15 seconds left on their support.
All right. At least they stopped them from going straight towards the Baron buff. A lot of damage taken to Karsa. Great job from LNG to prolong that. They still have a 4K gold lead, LNG does. So LNG can still elongate the series. But RNG are still packing a punch.
At this point, there's two things you need to look out for. It's the equalizer and if Uzi's alive in the fight. Because Uzi at this point, all the gold is on him. And he's tunneling towards that third item in what seems to be a rapid fire cannon with Ming at his wing.
We were so close to being able to see just an endgame scenario. Karsa had no reason to be in that position to look for a fight. With how much SofM was chunked, Baron buff was live and available for the 5 members of RNG, I think he was ultimately concerned about SofM coming in for a smite steal. But just send the Recon for that venture. Send anyone else. They can be the ones that stop it. You should be able to pick up that Baron buff and leap yourself into an advantage. Now they're back at step 1.
Also notice that for LNG, look at their mid lane. Flame Horizon time, Raz.
Oh, yeah.
Benfen has that 100 CS over Xiahu. And that is a feat.
He's also just stacked right now.
He's super stacked. That rapid fire cannon just came in.
That's the thing, when you're going straight towards the Essence Reaver build, we all know by the time you hit that Infinity Edge mark, you are a beast to be. Like, no one can touch you.
One shot, yeah.
No one can slam you. That's the risk of going towards this item build. Takes a lot of time and a lot of resources, but he's at a state right now that he can be a major contributor in the fights, and by the time he hits his IE, they completely have outscaled RNG. So even though I said it was based off execution, maybe
it is, because Ming goes in. That quickness hits 3 people. Equalizer layers down. Duan gets a good knockup, but into the backline, their jungler's already dead. RNG hits the button so quickly. Langx goes golden inside his own death throw over Flande in the backside. He's a busy boy. As Uzi is now left alive. The flush away from Asura. It is chaos incarnate. Uzi wants the 1v3. Knocked up by Duan. He needs some help. He gets a blade call.
Yeah!
That was messy. It's a chaotic build with a penta kill over to Flande.
Flande is a stylish man. Did you see that right at the beginning? Was able to just jump straight in. And the moment Uzi even had the time to fight back in a shroud. That's why you don't let this man pick up the Akali.
Replay time, baby. Get Baron, then show us what we need to see. Because
We don't
two
even
members
need to see
LNG.
Don't see the Baron buff being taken. That's a wait. Are they contesting it?
Well, hang on.
Is that what? No, they can't contest it.
No,
Give them the Baron.
They got double Mountain Rise.
Yeah, it's over. All right.
Okay.
Throw the footage at us. Throw it.
Because, man,
Fling it.
like, Uzi went into that knowingly. Duan re-engaged.
What's
and
taking so long? There's literally nothing else I care about.
all right, walk me through Flande's adventure.
So the startup by Ming was beautiful. He was able to get 3 people into it. But now you're looking straight towards the Akali, able to follow up in there. And then my point of view is Ming's incredibly low. Gets to him easily. Uzi's already uses. He has to flash away to try and get the kill on towards Asura and dodge away by Flande. And then this was a great moment. Q in, duck right out so you get your passive, walk in, passive auto attack, and Q. And I don't think Langx recognized that, so when you bring him right in, you're letting him get the penta.
You're like, oh my god, it happened. Pentakill for LNG, their hopes riding on this game, and that fight might have been enough to bring them into a game 4. However, still with the Baron buff, they need to siege, they need to break the base to give them that confidence moving forward.
I think RNG is still shell-shocked, honestly.
It would be too. It all happened.
It reminds you why you
So
ban
quickly.
Akali.
Yes. Why Akali feels very good at the moment.
And it's not even a flex for this team. Technically, you know, Fun can play it, but you all know that it's going to be
top.
Flande.
Yeah, they don't swap lanes
So you
either.
put respect on his name.
Flande now on the top side. He brings attention to LNG. The Baron buff has pushed in 1 inner, 2 in the mid lane as well.
Ooh, they have one more. Oh, there we
Close,
go.
but there goes the turret anyway. So all inners now broken. LNG with an 8k gold lead in this game. We'll give it a bit more, about 9. Now approaching inhibitor turrets.
This is soon to be a triple cannon minion wave. So Langx, yeah, bring that right up close. Please take these out.
Oh, Ming looking for engage. I'm not sure you find that with Fen and Flande right there.
Thankfully, those 2 cannon minions are dead because this third one would have been a real problem to deal with. But yeah, this is just a lot of compounding pressure. It's so hard for RNG to actually push them off if Langx is the one tasked to do it.
RNG just trying to defend this as best they can. The wave clear is there, but LNG can jump on a moment's notice. This is risky, but LNG are backing away with Baron 1 minute till expiry. What about the sideways? I feel like the sideways here, you send the Corki to top side. What do you think, Raz?
Just let Corki do his own thing. There's no reason for Corki to be alongside Asura and to have, you know, your top lane completely barren. Send the Corki up there. That should be an easy inhibitor being picked up by you. They're going for a fight, though.
Engage from RNG. They find the piece. The equalizer goes down in the meantime. SofM dies. How are RNG getting these picks?
It's the lane assignment. Simple and pure. It's actually so easy for the Rumble ultimate to be impactful. There's no reason for you to be baiting for a fight. That's the one way RNG come back into the game. Please split them up.
I mean, they've still got 20 seconds of Baron. Even with the member down, they're pushed in towards this inhibitor turret. Baron minions are knocking it down, but inhibitor turret stays standing. 10 seconds, finally. Fen in his own lane.
Fen can do whatever he wants. Just don't group with the team.
He's now pushing in for even more. Baron will expire as of now, and LNG might need to back away.
But send the Corki bottom lane and have the Karsa up mid. This is where the difficulty comes in now of dealing with the RNG team fight.
Flande has been split up towards the top side. They won't be able to find Fen, but they saved their inhibitor.
At least. So good job from RNG to defend all of this. It's very difficult to deal with it. But all LNG, what they're looking for is just that one last team fight to blow this all open and to finally get momentum on their side in this series.
And finally end this game that they found a pentakill in. That's the least thing. That's the least you want, you know?
I think there's a worrying trend of teams getting pentakills and then losing the game.
What was the last one?
I remember Upset being able to get a pentakill and losing their games. There's actually been a few this year.
Oh, it just hurts.
It hurts, and it's happening too often. So let's wrap this one up.
Okay.
Wrap this up.
If Flande's got a rabbit on his death cap, so if you want to talk about wrapping it up. Wrapping it up. 4 items on the Akali, 4 on the Corki in the mid lane, 4 on the Karsa. Everything set up for LNG to succeed, and now we just wait for that next Baron, it feels like.
It doesn't have to be this way, LNG. But I'm going to let you do you. You know, they're an incredibly skilled team. And a lot of the times, if you see execution like that last team fight, could be the difference. This Alistar, though, he knows. We all know.
You wouldn't expect Karsa to be there. Very deep in enemy lines. LNG can't find him. He's out of there. But trying to get positioning around Baron, trying to get that pick with longer death timers in the game at 33 minutes.
At least they're playing through mid lane wave so they can get control when Baron buff is up and available. But you're still asking for a team fight. That's where I think I guess they can't. Okay.
Okay, flag and drag out of there. Look at Ming, though. It was a bait. And down goes the red carpet. And Fen down goes he. That was a amazing bait from Karsa.
You have 30 seconds until Baron comes up. Send Karsa back packing. Healthy. Oh!
Over Flande.
Smart.
Cheeky.
Very smart. Delay the back so RNG can't just go straight towards Baron with the 40-second death timer Fen has.
Okay, RNG making the move. 40 seconds, as you mentioned. Teleport available here for Langx, but he's with the group, so they're just channeling in for now.
It doesn't have to be like this, LNG. There's a bottom lane wave that you can be sending the Corki.
We're looking at this again.
Yeah, that was a great pickup by Ming.
Wow.
Comboed up with the ultimate from both Cataclysm from Jarvan.
Here we
Equalizer
go.
by Xiahu. Let's see what we can do here.
Still 15 seconds on Flande. Flande, the one to watch. The man who picked up the pentakill is going to try and do it again. 2K, 1K, they're still not there. It's Rumble who secures it into the ulti. Goes SofM as Duan makes the engage, gets a 3-man pulverized. But Flande's out of the fight. Duan's out of the fight. Asura's out of the fight. They don't want to go in. Flande re-engages and finds himself a cheeky Ming. Can he do it again? But no, he can't. While Fen comes back alive. He wants to end the game.
Yeah, they want to try and slow him down, but there are two people who have just based right now.
Asura just ults into Uzi. What a flash from the AD carry. Now takes on Karsa. Gets him as well. LNG, that could be enough.
3 dead members and a 50-second death timer on your major carry. This could be the major win here for LNG.
He flashes away from the Blade Caller, survives, wins the 1v2. Now LNG channeling down with 2 inhibitors broken. They may not have the Baron buff, but they have the momentum.
Let's see. Just that one last pick that they need. Asura took a lot of damage here, but should be able to keep up. Fen is around.
Minion wave finally coming in. The concern is the wave clear.
They have to bounce. Ming is still there who can start the fight. They can't deal with that. And even worse, 18 seconds left on Uzi's death timer. So they got what they came for. But Baron buff is still there for RNG. And I think that's the major concern. This is LNG with a huge gold lead. They played with their food, and now they're basically on a gold swing for RNG. They couldn't end the game where it really counted. So take a look at this.
Go again.
This was a great pickup by Asura. Being able to catch him straight in towards Uzi because that was the damage dealer. Beautiful flash too. Wow.
That was a great moment. We talked about the AD carries so many times in this series. It just goes to show you. Hitting the mark here, Asura. Almost able to end the game, but not quite. Baron up for a minute 30 here for RNG, and this will be a very defensive Baron just to get the waves pushed out and mitigate these open inhibitors.
It depends, because you have 5 men ready to fight, and they're already grouped up. They have the wave ready. I think they want to find that impactful fight now when they have the control of the wave.
Okay.
But take a look at the bottom lane wave right now. It's Corki alone with Langx. This is what LNG should have done right from the very beginning. They've learned from their mistake. At least should be able to get some damage done now.
Fen down here by himself has package. Xiahu in the wing. Watch for the equalizer.
All right, he sees nothing. That's cool.
They're going to disappear. Karsa and Xiahu just gone.
But this is what I wanted to see from LNG. Thankfully, that's the case. He has the package, so there's actually nothing that can just keep him there. He's going to be able to get out of there scot-free. It's the rest of LNG that recognizes that the collapse was happening and they were starting to push in mid through them, their own. So you're right. At the end of the day now, that's just going to be a defensive Baron buff that they have for themselves. They couldn't get a team fight rolling for them. And now they're back up, steady. Full items locked in by Uzi.
That's right. And also Asura there as well. So Bar getting rid of the boots, which is ultra late game. We're at that point where gold is getting meaningless.
And you also have Xiahu to kind of double down on that point. He was holding on to that elixir, has just popped it because this is the moment that they're looking for.
3-item Rumble needs that equalizer to land.
It's the moment we're talking about is Elder Dragon. So Elder Dragon's going to be the one that you want to fight for. Let's see if LNG finds that major pick.
Remember, we've seen many trades for Elder for Baron. What do LNG want to choose? They're heading towards top side, or SofM just repositioning?
We're getting there. LNG wants to fight for this. Is SofM just going to look for that steal first and foremost?
I mean, he needs to get into the pit. 5K is going down quick.
They
They don't have vision. Now finally over the wall into the death realm. That's great. Security for RNG while Duan might be caught out. Flande still to watch through. The pulverize comes through for the equalizer. Lays down the carpet. It's a 1-for-1 trade with the jungler going down. Do LNG stay? Flande going to be flushed on Uzi. That's ambitious.
Oh my god, now they're just routed. They're on the wrong side of the map.
Riff Raz.
At least they're buying for some time, but these are long death timers we're talking about.
They're looking for Fen, Uzi moving forward with Ming. They don't know where the rest of LNG are. This is just messy.
They're just trying to snipe a member. This is the final fight in the game.
They might turn for the team fight. Flande teleported in. RNG alone. The flash from SofM. Flande locks on down to Langx. You know Flande's going to go back in. The Akali launches on down but gets bursted down. RNG are there. Whacked down. Obliterate. RNG find the picks they need. And Fen just wants this game to end, but Asura walking through. Fen rejoining the fight. Xiahu flushing in. RNG love the messy fight.
60-second death timers from both Asura and FenFen. SofM will come up and alive, but this is the start of that parade. Run straight down mid and see if anyone can catch you.
Duan has been spotted by a ward, needs to be careful. RNG, you said the parade begins. They're starting to collapse and crush these turrets.
Duan just wanted to pick up the wave. If he can try and hold the wave back, he would be in a good spot. But RNG's kept fluttered right next to it, so there's no way to be able to take it away from them. Let's see if there's anyone that can stop them.
Can they end res? I mean, 15
they
seconds
can do it
on
easily.
Flande, SofM, jungle, you're right. The carries in Asura and FenFen dying so late means this is RNG. Once again looking for an unexpected ending. SofM trying to delay for time. Duan doing the same. The ult comes through. He gets one. Shink, that's important, but Uzi still is the 80 carry alive. Goes into GA. Now RNG
Flande.
have a bare nexus. LNG, is this the way it ends? Is your quarterfinal curse still there? Flande tries hard. He gets a pentakill this game, but Uzi is onto the Nexus. He's firing away, Raz. The flash from Asura. He orders. Does he get it? No! RNG, the 80 carry gets the triple kill, but the game's not over yet.
One last auto attack.
I think they can end it as
Take
well.
a look at teleport from FenFen. It's just coming up too. This should be the game.
We're
just
going
like that.
To a game 4 off 100 HP Nexus. Teleport here is true. 15 seconds on Langx. I don't think he has time.
There's no way. You have double AD carries ready to blow this one open. That is a crazy way to be able to take this game.
Nexus turret being taken here from LNG. Smile on FenFen's face. This series ain't over. We're going to a game 4.
Wow. That is the most adrenaline pumping moment you can have. We've had moments like these in Spring Split, but in a playoff match, in a series set match, you lose that one auto attack away from packing your bags home and looking to 2020. LNG is back.
They survive. By a whim, they survive. Uzi needed one more auto attack and that game was over. But now LNG, their return, their reverse sweep begins.
This is when everyone starts hyper-analyzing that very moment.
Yes.
You think about that last auto attack, who could have dished it? You're thinking towards Langx sending the Rek'Sai into the Death Realm. Probably could have been able to just put in some work himself, but he was thinking about the well-being of the primary carry in Uzi. And so when you get to that point in the game, everything comes down to that small bit of calculation.
Right.
RNG wasn't able to get it. LNG was able to come back into this game. And I want to remind people, by the way, RNG had no business coming back in this game.
Yeah, that was an LNG win. That was a 10k gold lead.
It was literally a 10. It was the most far away you can come back. And it was LNG throwing leads again and again, even with the pentakill in large. But finally, they were able to adapt within the game, find that one moment to come back. A great game for a great series.
Great way to continue the series.
Entertaining is the key word.
Yes, entertaining games we've had. Because there were some moments in that game, there were some great moments. And running up the mid lane, I thought that was it. I thought the RNG 3-0 was stated right there.
I think everyone thought that. Especially when RNG was able to team fight. I mean, they're going to team fight. But able to just like ring the game back into their favor when it was a 10k gold deficit. That's when you start sweating. But now you're back to step 1, level 1, in the next game, and the momentum has come swinging back to LNG. I want to see if the adaptation of that best of 5 starts to play in a factor. Because remember, if it was a best of 3, easy win for RNG.
Yeah.
We're done, we're packing home. But for a best of 5, you have that added adaptation. Now you're thinking about the Akali factor.
Yeah.
Bringing carries back to Flande.
At least he got a pentakill and won the game.
And I think the major adaptation isn't the picks. It's literally when you have a split push comp. Split push.
Yeah.
Split push. That's all I got to say, but I think that we're going to be seeing a much better game coming into Game 4 as well.
I hope so, because after that, I'm ready for what comes next. We're going to have a short break to recover and head into Game 4 where LNG try to reverse sweep.